Which Battlefield game do you guys think is most popular right now in 2022? I want you guys to take a guess, and I'm sure some of you guys are hardcore Battlefield fans and you see the thumbnail and you see the game that I tried to blur out, which I was struggling a lot with. But maybe I tried to mess with you, right? Like maybe it's not actually that game. Maybe it's a different Battlefield game. Take a guess though. I'll give you guys 5 seconds. Alright, I was just fucking with you guys. It is clearly Battlefield 4, and I should note that I was checking the numbers on PC and on Xbox, so quite a few servers going, most of which are active, and full. Great sign. And it kind of surprised me, kind of didn't. I don't know the numbers on PlayStation, but from what I've heard and what I've seen on like Reddit and on my previous Battlefield videos, a lot of the PlayStation fans out there have said that this game is also very active on PlayStation, so yeah, I'm gonna believe them, and they better not be lying to me or I'll find them and I will spit on their sidewalk or do something inappropriate. Anyways, like I said, I'm a little bit surprised that this game is very active, but I'm also not. I think there's a few reasons why this game is very active right now. The main reason is Battlefield 2042 was such a shit show. Like guys, I was so hyped for this game. I don't even want to get into it because I could literally rant about it for about 5 hours each day for the rest of my life. And yeah, that game was such a shit show that I think everybody kind of just moved away from it. And sure, there's some diehard Battlefield fans that are probably still on that game. I'm not saying 2042 is fully dead. It is on PC from what I've seen, but on Xbox and I think on PlayStation, 2042, don't listen to everything you've heard. There's still a pretty active community on 2042, at least on console. But on PC, I think Battlefield 4 is probably the most active game. I was checking servers for the last month or so, and Battlefield 4, from what I could tell, has the most players every day. Some days other Battlefield games would have more than Battlefield 4, but in general, I would say typically Battlefield 4 would have the most players. And same thing for Xbox. I was going, through Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 4, and some of the older ones, even like Bad Company and whatnot. And Battlefield 4 had the most players on the servers. So the second reason why I think this game is very popular is because there's a subscription service called Pornhub. No, I'm not talking about Pornhub. There's a subscription service called EA Play. If you're not familiar with that, is basically like $4.99 a month, I think, and you can get it on PC, and and of course it's on Xbox with Game Pass. Basically, you get access to all of the EA games. Battlefield is included, so a lot of these older Battlefield games that you might think would be dead, they're just not dying because the subscription service is basically bringing a lot of people back to these games. And I can't wait for Call of Duty games, on a side note, to go into Game Pass, because I think a lot of the older Call of Duty games will also get the same benefit. I think a lot of people will go back to those, and the player counts will go up for each of those games. And the last and most important reason why I think Battlefield 4 still has a lot of players on it is this game was just phenomenal. I mean, despite its horrendous launch, and this game did have a really bad launch, a lot of people might not remember it. First month this game came out, I was gonna scream. It wasn't as bad as 2042, but it was getting pretty bad. But after the launch, it's been a great game ever since. And this game is not... There's a main reason why I think this game is still very playable. One, I mean, the modern setting of this game, fantastic. Secondly, it did get an FPS boost on Xbox, so if you're a frame rate guy and you like to play games with a higher frame rate, who doesn't like that? This game is running at 120 frames per second on Xbox, and depending on your PC capabilities, I'm sure you can run this game at even higher frame rates. So I think that's definitely helping on Xbox, because if you go into Game Pass, it actually has a list of games that are FPS boosted, and this is one of the first titles you see. So I think that 100% benefits the game. And I mean, this game still holds up to this day. This is an 8-year-old title at this point, and look at this visually. It is absolutely sexy as fuck. It is just beautiful. And, it doesn't feel... I'm a huge fan of Bad Company 2. That's probably my favorite Battlefield in the series. And Battlefield 3 even, I really like that game. If you go back and play those games, they do kind of feel outdated, whereas this game is at the perfect spot. It's not old enough to feel outdated, and it's not new enough to be Battlefield 2042. So it's the perfect spot. It's the perfect game. the overall consensus, I think, in the Battlefield community, I think this game is pretty loved by everybody. I mean, the modern setting, the guns, everything about this game, the maps are great. Well, yeah, visually, Battlefield games have always looked good. I mean, I can still remember to this day when Bad Company 2 first came out, when Battlefield 3 came out, I was having the hardest boner of my life just looking at it, because those games were stunning for its time. And same thing with Battlefield 4. I mean, this game, if a game developer not named EA released this game today in 2022, I'm sure people wouldn't even know. Like, graphically, that's how good it looks, and it's 8 years old. So yeah, a lot of people playing this game, myself included. Hop on this shit. It is a ton of fun. Same amount of fun that you had 8 years ago, you can still have today. Let me know down in the comment section below, were you guys a fan of Battlefield 4? Do you still play it to this day? And yeah, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you love me, because I love you, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.